Hi there, this is Åsa with a new process video. Today I'm working with 3 photos, one from the outside of the Natural History Museum in Stockholm and 2 interior photos from the dinosaur exhibition. And we went there this summer when we were traveling by Stockholm, and it was the first time we took the kids there. And they had just reopened the dinosaur exhibition, and we wanted to take a look. And both the kids are interested in dinosaurs. My daughter a bit more than my son, but just because he's still so young, and I think that he will appreciate the dinosaurs a lot more next time we go there. He was mainly in the mood to buy ice cream when we were there, but we tried to enjoy ourselves as much as we could anyway, and look at the different exhibition elements. I have cut out from the silhouette a bunch of dinosaur die cuts, and I got them from the silhouette store. Design store, you know what I mean. And I just scaled them to be roughly the same size, even though perhaps they're not in scale towards each other. But I wanted them to give the same impact on the page. And I cut them out of white cardstock, and it's not a cardstock that's very good with water, but I tried to paint them with as little water as possible, not to warp them too much. Now I'm bringing out some stencils, and these are stencils that I made myself, and I'm working with stencils that have very small patterns. I will be using a couple of dotted ones, and they have random dots in different sizes, and then I'll also use grid versions of these stencils, so that I get different patterns on these dinosaurs. And I try to move the stencils a bit so that I get a less clean impression when I just ink through the stencil with a small sponge. And this was just to make the dinosaurs a bit more like alive, something, give them a more texture, so that they look more interesting. And the dinosaurs will be the main like embellishing on this page beside the photos. Now I'm going to mat the photos on tissue paper, and this green color, I thought it fitted the colors that I had chosen for my dinosaurs really well, and I think I could have painted them in yellow and blue and pink, but I wanted them to have this kind of reptile feel to them, like crocodile feel, so I went with the green and the brown hues. And this green tissue paper had this same tone to it, but I'm only cutting a very small border of it around the photos, just like a mat. I like tissue paper because it has a life on its own, and you can tear it, and you can paint it with water and then tear it, and it gives really nice effects. And in this case I'm using it almost like I could have used like a vellum piece as a border that's almost transparent, and that's really nice. And this color, I really loved it. I'm happy I saved that tissue paper. It's from some kind of packaging. I think I got scrapbooking supplies wrapped in that one. Now I'm trying to figure out where I can put the dinosaurs. I want to have them all on the page, so they need to like make room for each other, and I also want them to face, at least the one on the edge, facing inwards towards the center of the page, not looking out over the border. So those three that has the edge places, I face them inwards towards the inside of the page, or the center of the page. And now I'm mounting them on foam dots, and I chose a foam that was rather thin, not the 3 millimeters, more like the 1.5 millimeter kind, but they get some dimension, and they create this tiny shadow that gives a really nice impression on the page. And I'm very happy with the pattern that I got on these, and it was a very nice way to use these stencils, because I remember when I made them, I kind of felt like they had an animal pattern, like cheetah or these wild fur kind of cat patterns on them, and I think it went very well with these dinosaurs. They are not meant to be realistic in any way, they are just fun, and in these different watercolor hues it looks really nice. Now I realize that I have a slight a heavy page, so I need to make that go away in some in any possible way. So I'm cutting off a strip of paper from the bottom of the cardstock, and then I will mount it on another paper, and I've created borders, top and bottom borders, with bright green washi tape. The washi tape has flowers in darker green, and I thought they resembled kind of leafage, foliage in a forest that these creatures can walk about in. So I hope that was a feeling that I could get with this green washi tape as a border. So I'm just folding down the flimsy paper there, one row of adhesive at a time, to make it pretty even. Now I'm going to write a title, and I'm measuring up the space that I have there in that upper left corner, and I'm going to write the name of the museum we went to. So I need to cram many alphas into a rather small space, and it's the National Museum of Natural History. So even though the words in Swedish is shorter, it's many letters anyway, so they need to be fairly small. So I'm cutting them out on my Silhouette Cameo, and while it's cutting, I'm making a pen line border on the cream colored cardstock, but just next to the green washi tape border. And here's the cutout that I made, and I will spell it in 2 rows because it's 2 words in Swedish, and I didn't want to cut the words into smaller parts, because I wanted them to be whole. And now I will glue those down with my SIG glue pen, which is just perfect for these super tiny alphas. When I glued these down, I remember the first Quick Cuts alpha that I bought. It came actually with the hand tool that I had. It was the Metro skinny mini font, and it came with they had I think 3 or 4 letters on each die, and they were so tiny, and it was almost impossible to get them to stick. And you had more alphas on your fingers than you had on your page because they were so tiny. And I got totally the same feeling when I glued down these for this really long title. Now I dug up my old jar of wood veneers. No, it's not wood veneers, it's shipboard pieces. And I found a couple of arrows and a geotag with the word click on, and one of the arrow has captured, and I thought they would look really nice as black accents on this page. The photos are really dark, and I wanted to have that black like I'm sorry, I wanted that black color to be present in the embellishing on this page, because it would kind of make the contrast a bit smaller. But when I had colored those shipboards, I realized that they were too big to fit where I wanted them to go. So my lack of pre-planning backfired on me totally this time. So I needed to solve that problem right away, because I had a empty space where the title was, and I needed to fill that space with something. My original plan was to have an arrow starting in that empty space and pointing inwards towards the photos, but those arrows were just too broad, so I had to come up with another idea. So I found this little circle, or yes, a circle, and I think it's from an inside of a camera or something like that, and I just colored it up in the same black color, and it had to go there. So it's just a circle, nothing special there, but that dot kind of made the empty space go away, so the page became better with the dot than without it. So I'm happy with it. And now I'm gluing down the other pieces, making sure that the arrows are pointing in towards the photos and not off the page, because I wanted them to center your eyes on the middle of the page. And this is the finished layout. I'm very happy with this one. I love those dinosaurs. They're from the Silhouette store, and very fun, and I'm so happy with the stenciling. It went really well and gave a really nice animal feel. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you soon here in my channel. Take care. This is Åsa. Bye!